welcome back, and today pretty excited. We've got a SIMAGIC M10 Direct Drive steering wheel. I've just got to say a big shout out to Simfai down in Asia. They have really come above and beyond and got me this wheel. I put the order in and I had the wheel sat here in my house about 2.5 weeks later, which is pretty incredible considering the situation around the world. So big shout out to them for doing a great job. They've been really good with the emails, great contact. You just flick them an email or inquiry and they were back on, back in touch with you a few minutes later. I messaged a lot of other companies around the world trying to get hold of this wheel, and to be fair, they stood out as being the best. So give them a look. I will say straight off, I haven't been given the wheel. It's not some dodgy marketing unboxing. That's not the case. I paid cold hard cash for it. It came out of my pocket. So my feedback from this wheel is completely unbiased. The reason I've chosen SIMAGIC M10 is I've just started sim racing. Obviously, if you haven't seen on my channel, I've just built my own rig. If you haven't had a look at that, please go and have a look afterwards and see the rig build. Now, the rig is finished, it's all up and running, and the idea was it started off as PlayStation, and then I was going to upgrade slowly to PC and Iracing as I went along. Now I've actually already got my PC up and running, and I'm just getting the triple screen mounts finished off, but yeah, the next step is to get wheel and pedals. So I wanted to step up. I'm actually running the G29 at the moment with the PlayStation, and it's a great wheel. It's cost effective, it's cheap, it comes with the pedals, and it's good enough to get me going, but it's not perfect in any means or sense, and I wanted to make an upgrade. However, I haven't got the budget available to upgrade to like a Fanatec or an Accuforce or a Leo Bodner. I just don't have that kind of budget available at the moment. So SIMAGIC M10 was right into my budget. I wanted to get direct drive. So this is at the bottom end of the direct drive market, but I think it's a great upgrade from the G29. It's the next step up. I've sort of skipped over all the belt drive wheels, and I've just got into the bottom of the direct drive market, which I think is pretty cool. So that's what attracted me to the wheel. I think the total price was $8.99 US, and that includes the base and the steering wheel as well, which I think is really good value for money. And then considering the spec increase, so G29 puts out, I think it's about 2.7 Newton meters. It's a very low figure. This is obviously a 10 Newton meter direct drive wheel, so the step up in performance is going to be a lot better. What I'm also keen to feel is one of my bugbears with the G29 is there's a really massive dead spot in the wheel at the top of its motion. So you'll be driving the car straight and you can actually move the wheel quite a bit side to side before anything actually happens. And I believe that the specs on this wheel, that dead motion shouldn't be there. So it should be a massive improvement in being able to absolutely position the car inch perfect or millimeter perfect on the track, which is what I'm looking for. So what I have done, I've been driving iRacing with the G29 set up on a rig for a few hours now, doing a lot of testing. So I've got some really solid base lap times around a few tracks. And what I'll do is once we get the M10 bolted up to the rig, hopefully this weekend I'll sit down and we'll get some direct lap time comparisons and just see if it made any improvement on my lap times. I think maybe on the overall lap distance it won't, or it'll be a very small difference, but I think over the course of a race distance, so like a 10 or a 20 lap sprint, I think there'll be a big difference in consistency, because what I found with the G29 is I can nail a lap, but it's very hard to repeat it. So I've got some pretty good lap times, so I'm quite happy with where I'm at the moment in my early days of iRacing. But what I can't do is repeat those laps lap after lap. So I'm just hoping the M10 gives me a bit more consistency. Anyway, let's get to it and get this unboxed. Alright, so enough talking, let's get to it. As I said, while I was sat there talking to you, I did notice it's already been opened. It's probably had to go through customs to get into Bahrain. It's quite usual that we get parcels here that have already been opened. I think we just check in to see what's inside, so I'm hoping there's still a steering wheel in there. So let's have a look. Alright, so it's really well packaged. So, first thing we see, that'll be the box with the steering wheel. GT1, and then we've got the base in the bottom. Alright, so there's the base, and it's quite heavy. So I know a big shout out to Simfai there, packaging is really good. So what they've actually done is put two boxes inside each other. So there is, although there's a bit of marking on the boxes inside it, it's been squashed a little bit, but I'm sure everything has arrived pretty much intact, which is good, and you know, it's travelled a long way, so yeah, those guys know what they're doing as in terms of packaging. Anyway, what should we open first? I think we'll do the base first. So, skim it around. Super exciting. So what we got there is the base. So we've got pretty good high density foam, so great for shipping again. I'm actually going to use that for something else because that's pretty cool. Bit of foam. Now we have the base inside. Let's have a closer look. Okay, so in there we've got, there's the M10 base, looking pretty cool. And then we've got our parts, looks like a power adapter, fittings and cables, got some hardware, and I think the warranty. So yeah, I like that as things go. I think these are the mounting brackets here, mounting brackets in there. Probably won't use them, I'll make my own, but handy to have, they'll get used for something else. Alright, let's get him out. So, first up we've got USB cable. And the same again. Power adapter. It's quite a good size, looks pretty well made. So, plug adapter, quite normal for where we live. So out here it should be UK standard plugs, but we get American, Asian, Australian, New Zealand. So every house we have, you have to go around and cut all the plugs off. It's funny enough, all the houses have UK plug sockets, but every electrical item out here we have has a different plug in it. So that's quite normal for us. Luckily, we all stock lots of adapters. It's got a switch on there, so power on, power off, I suppose, so you can kill it pretty quick. Not sure about that quality. It's a bit cheap, to be fair. I mean, it's handy to have, so I can shut it down as a fit before it kills me. But I'd much rather have a push button on and off kill switch. But there we go. That'll do for now. I'm sure we can make a modification of that at some point. So yeah, power box, all good. So we've got some hardware. what we got in here? So if you got your old, what they called 80-20 aluminium extrusion rigs or 80-10, you've got your T-threads, or I don't know what they call, what the technical term is, so you can mount it straight to your rig, Allen key. Lots of what are they? M6 Allen head fasteners, they're quite nice. We'll use them for something else. Maybe they go on a drift car. Yeah, there's a good bag of fasteners in there, there's plenty there. That's pretty cool. We got the warranty card. Excellent, it's all in Chinese, I think. So I can't make any sense of that whatsoever. Although it's got 2020 there, 03. So it was made, well, it's only just been produced by the look of it in March, so that's pretty cool. Then we've got our brackets. So they've given us 2 mounting brackets, quite nice, decent finish. Laser cut, what are they? 2 mil, 2.2 mil. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I might use them, I don't know, they may be a bit flimsy for me. I like to over-engineer, so I'll probably make my own, but they'll get used for something else. Alright, so last we've got the unit, which is nestled in here. Holy. She's got a bit of weight to her. Doesn't look as heavy as it is. So it looks good. Yeah. Marks on it just there. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know what that is. Where there's a mark in the powder coating. Looks like it's been scratched. Underneath looks pretty good. Does look like the unit's been fitted to something and tested whether that's just the way they produce them, but I can see the powder coating has been removed on these 2 mounting holes underneath. Maybe they bench test them before they send them out, which is good. But yeah, I can definitely see marks on the underneath there where it has been fitted to something used before. But yeah, it looks pretty good. So it does get fingerprints on it. So the finish is nice. It's like a satin grey. Decals are printed directly on top. So they're not raised. They don't feel raised. They feel like they've been printed straight onto the top of that coating, which is pretty nice. And then round to the front, so we've got, is it real or fake? So we've got carbon fibre plates. I'm going to say that's real, it looks pretty good. Carbon fibre plates on the front and also on the back, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it looks nice. So you've got your extrusion fittings there, so you can pop your, what they call T fittings or whatever they're called, into the side so you can bolt them to your rig. I'm not going to worry about that. Oh, I don't know actually, I might use them now I've got the fittings in there. But I'll probably just bolt it on. We've got 4 mounting holes that I can see on the bottom. I can probably, yeah, I might use those, a couple of those T fittings on the side as well, just to make sure it's in. So yeah, other than that, perfect condition. The only thing that bugs me is just some spots on the outside there. Not sure you can see it, see if we can get in a bit closer. So you can just see those spots. That's the only thing I'll say, and fingerprints, you can already see the old fingerprints on there. Yeah, don't know what that is. And then, as I said, on the bottom, you can clearly see it's been mounted already. And I just wonder if that's for testing before they ship the units. But it's definitely been mounted up to something. Maybe it's just in production, maybe the last relic or the last points of production, they secure them to a bench when they test them. So not a biggie, but trying to be as open as I can. So on the back, we've got USB, also FFB input, and then CAN bus. Got a reset button, and then the inlet for the fan, and then we've got the power out cord as well. I just wonder how long the power cord is on these. So that's
it's probably 1.5 meters from the unit, and then we go down to the power control box. I'm always worrying if the cables are going to be long enough, because I'm struggling with some of my stuff already. So we've got about 1 meter from the control box to that plug, so that's 2.5 meters. And yeah, power cable's pretty good as well. It's probably about just under 2 meters. So you've got a fair bit of cableage here to work with. Because one of my problems in this room with my rig, I've only got one power point. And so I had to place the rig right on top of it. I'm running extension leads, which is not great. I need to get that sorted at some point. So anyway, there's the base unit. That's looking pretty cool. Really happy with that. Feeling already like give the motor a twist, and I can already feel, so compared to the G29, there's a mechanical feel like you get twisting an alternator on the car. You can feel the motor running through the magnets, the notchiness. It's pretty cool, but it's a lot less defined than the G29. G29 just feels horrible. And now this feels pretty cool. So yeah, be excited to use it. And then we've got the quick fastener for the steering. Obviously on the top there is where it picks up its electrical inputs for the buttons on the wheel. Anyway, that's cool. Let's get to it and open up the wheel. Alright, so when I ordered the wheel, I actually wanted this D-shaped wheel, the GT1 D-shape. It's got the clutch paddles on the bottom. Unfortunately, that just wasn't, it was out of stock and they weren't producing any at that point. So I've had to go for the fully round GT1 wheel, and I don't think I got the clutch option either, because again they're out of stock, which is a real shame, but I just couldn't wait. I needed to get on and get it done. So these will be a future purchase. I will say that Simfai were really good with this, and they gave me actually a bit of a discount because of the problems caused, and it was like a few days delay. But they were really good, and I didn't ask, they just offered me a discount straight away. So I've got to say, I'm really impressed with all the parts I've bought for the PC so far. These guys have really stood out for me, and for sure I'll be using them again, because I think their customer service was really good. It's always a worry when you're shipping overseas and you're using a new supplier, but no, these guys were good. So let's get into it. See what we've got. They're going to surprise me and send me the one I wanted. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. It'll be like Christmas. Oh my, let's cover him up. So I'm not sure what I'm more excited about. Whether it's actually the base or the wheel. I think I'm excited to use the base, but I'm most excited to see the wheel, because that's the cool looking bit. So there we go, GT1 wheel. Oh man, it looks pretty cool. Lovely packaging. Really love this foam, so nothing's going to get damage in there. Oh, such a big upgrade from the G29. So we'll pop him out, and it's cool. It's got some weight to it, that's for sure. Overall, first appearances, quality is superb. From what I've paid for it, I'm really happy with that. Stitching's nice, feels nice, the leather's good. I think it's real leather, yeah. Give it a smell test. Yeah, I think so. Got a bit of hay fever, so I can't really smell anything. Now that's cool. So we've got on the back, we've got the so we have got clutches. So we've got two clutches. We've got the paddle shifters. Really nice click from those paddles. Massive improvement from the G29. I will say they're a little high for me. I've only got little hands. We'll get used to it. You can adjust them, I think. You can adjust the distance backwards and forwards, so that'll make them a bit easier to get to. But now it looks pretty cool. Anyway, what else we got in here? So again, we've got some Allen keys for servicing and changing the wheel. There's a warranty card in there. Let's just see when this was made. So again, March 20th, 2020. Pretty cool. So recent, hasn't been set on the shelf. Shows these things aren't sitting on the shelf for long. They're coming straight out of the factory, straight to the customer. And then in there we've got the USB cable as well. Cool.
Alright, let's have a look at the wheel then.
So, on the wheel we've got neutral, park, we've got this switch up the top, which I've heard this doesn't really do anything. I'm interested to see what that's all about. I've got to figure that one out. We've got another momentary switch up the top there. Didn't get any stickers. I didn't see any stickers anywhere, which is a shame. Traction control on a rotary switch, brake biased. So yeah, it's pretty cool. One thing I will say, it's got the 900,000, 540 and 360 degrees printed on the base of the wheel. It looks a bit, I don't know why you want that on there, it looks a bit pants to be fair. So yeah, that should be one of my gripes. I'll probably put stickers on there so I know what the hell the buttons are doing. But yeah, I'm surprised I didn't put any other stickers in there so we can change the buttons around to what we want. But no, pretty cool. Rotary switches feel good. Pretty good quality. A little bit of movement in them. Quite a bit. But they're good, they feel nice to get hold of. That switch up the top feels nice. This one's a real pain in the butt to get to with the cowling on it. But yeah, looks pretty good. Let's have a closer look. So one thing that we will talk about, people have said on the other reviews I've watched, the snap when you mount the wheel to the base is quite satisfying. So we will have a look at that. So it's just a pull type quick release on the back. Pretty cool, SIMAGIC logo on there. Logo printing isn't that great. We'll say it's a bit rough, you can feel it, and the paint's already coming off, so it's a bit low in places, but what to do, you get what you pay for. So you just line up, you've got the contacts on the back of the wheel there, so I think you just line them up somewhere close with the ones on the hub, and then just push it on. Oh, give it a twist. My God, that is nice. That is nice. Really flicks back in there. Boom. So once it's on, absolutely zero movement from the hub to the wheel. That's on there nice and tight. That's pretty better than most race cars I've driven, to be fair. That's pretty cool. So quite a bit of gap between the base and the wheel. I'm probably going to have to readjust the mounting on the rig to suit because of that. Obviously G29 sits quite close up to the base. This has got like a good, I don't know what these are, 6 inches. Let's just show you how that wheel mounts again. So get it on, just line it up. Oh yeah, that's satisfying, that is. That's nice. And then to get it off, it's quite a, there's quite a bit of distance to cover. The quick release fastener is very deep, so you need to really, it's going to be, get it through the top. So you'd have to put your hands over the top. The spring on it's really tough as well. So yeah, it needs a bit of force to get it on, but that's cool. Snaps on there really nice. Alright, just to summarise, so I'm really happy with the M10. Really happy with how it's unboxed. Packaging is really good. It's turned up with no damage on it. There's a couple of tiny marks on the one side, little spots. I'm not sure what they are, whether they're clean off. I tried rubbing my fingernail over it and they didn't come off, so maybe I'll be able to clean them off. That could be my only possible gripe from what I've received. But yeah, to be fair, the price point for what we've paid, the quality is superb. It is a different level completely to Logitech, the G29. Obviously price is different, but this is definitely a step up. This feels like a real steering wheel, and the quality feels real. That quick fastener for the wheel is better than any quick fastener I've ever used on any race car, which is saying something. I've driven some up to date high spec Formula cars, and even they didn't have a that fastener was really nice. So yeah, looking forward to it now. What we're trying to do, I'll try and get it mounted up by this weekend and get it on the rig, and then we'll do a back-to-back review with the G29. Hardware's all pretty good, all standard sort of made in China cables. They're probably not the greatest quality, but at least you got them. Really blown away that the unit was only produced in March 2020, so they've literally been produced and it would have been in the post to me 2 weeks later, so that's pretty cool. And it just shows either how few of these, they're obviously producing them in batches, but either how few they're producing or how many they're selling, because they're out of stock. I mean, when I went to order, they were out of stock, so that's pretty cool. Obviously, with the way things are going on in the world at the moment, everything's been affected, production and shipping. And again, big shout out to Simfai, because they got it over to me, and I was really surprised. I was a little nervous, to tell you the truth. When I paid for the unit, obviously with it being down in China, I was just a bit worried about whether there was going to be a possibility of them actually getting it shipped. But they were confident, and yeah, 2 weeks later, or 2.5 weeks later, it was on my doorstep. So big shout out to them. Anyway, so there is the SIMAGIC M10. I am going to run off to the workshop now and try and get some brackets made up to mount this to my rig. And hopefully next time I see you, we've got it mounted up, and we'll be doing some one-to-one comparisons with the G29 and just see how good it is. But from what I've seen so far, it's looking pretty cool. I am happy. This is my happy face. So yeah, we'll see you next time. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching. If you haven't done so already, click on like and subscribe down the bottom, and we've got some more videos coming up very soon. See you later.